Hi, we're going to talk about internal hip rotation today and also hamstring flexibility and mobility. And the two tests we're going to talk about is the hip windshield wiper that tests the mobility in your internal hip rotation. That is where your foot goes out and your hip is internally rotating. And also the toe touch, where it's just simply either you want to try to keep your legs straight and touch your toes. Either you can or you can't. We're going to give you exercises and stretches. This stretch is great for those that had really tight internal hip rotation or the hip windshield wiper, you couldn't go very far. This is called hip drops. And what you want to do is you want to sit down, knees bent, and you just want to feel like you're dropping your knee in as far as you can, but try and keep that right butt cheek on the ground for the right side, and then you can switch sides on the left. So you're going to go back and forth. Now some of you that had a little bit more flexibility on that, there's one great test that you can do, or an exercise stretch that you can do. We call it the 90-90, hip 90-90. And you want to get your right leg at a 90-degree angle here, and your left leg at a 90-degree angle, and you're going to sit down on this butt cheek over here, and you're going to get a good stretch in here, and that's your internal hip rotation stretching. So this is more for advanced or a little bit more flexible hips, and then the hip drops is more for beginners or tight hips. This is a drill for internal hip rotation that will help you with the proper load on the trail side and proper load on the lead side. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your foot behind your knee, and we're going to work the left internal hip rotation of the left hip. So you're going to hold on here, this is supported, and you're just going to turn your opposite knee around your hip. And you want to try and keep your shoulders as square as possible. You can do that supported, or you can do that without support for a little bit more advanced. And that's going to give you more internal hip rotation on your left side. And then you can switch and do the other side, and that's going to work on your right side. For this next internal hip rotation drill, I have the power swing trainer from Golf Gym, and I've attached it to a door. So this is great for the right side, back, trail leg, hip rotation. What you want to do is you want to stand, feel like you get loaded on your right side. You're going to hold on to the band. You're going to step and then swing through. Come back, load, step, swing through, just like this. So you're going to make sure you're loaded and then step through. So when I come back, the band's trying to pull me over and I have to stabilize on this right side. It's a great drill for loading on your right side and your internal hip rotation on the right. For those of you that had a problem or an issue with the toe touch test, this is a great drill that you can do to increase that range of motion. It also helps you to feel or help your body to understand the hinging at the hip. Now what I mean by that is, a lot of people will try to touch their toes by doing this, by rounding the back. Then they also get in their golf posture by rounding the back. Where you're really bending from is your waist. You want to feel like you're bending more from your hip joint. So the way to do that is you can put your fingers on your hip joint and push back while you go forward, keeping your legs as straight as you can. I like to feel here like I'm looking over the edge of a building and I don't want to fall off. And then what you can do from here is reach out. You want to reach out about 6 inches away from your feet. That way you're not rounding your back. And the other thing is when you go down this way, you want to feel like your butt goes back, and then it doesn't matter how far you can get going down, but you just want to go as far as you can until you feel a good stretch in the back of your hamstrings or in your lower back. This is a great drill also to help you get in your posture by putting the club across your waist, pushing back, keeping your legs locked, and then set the club down and then just bend your knees. And you'll find yourself into a pretty good athletic golf posture. This is a great stretch that you can do for the hamstring and the back of the leg to help increase the mobility in that muscle without jeopardizing the lower back. A lot of people I see do the toe touch, and that is a good hamstring flexibility exercise, but it also could hurt your lower back. So this is a good one. You want to get your foot up about anywhere above knee height and try and get your leg as straight as you can, and you can also turn into it for a little bit more added stretch. So try that for more increased hamstring flexibility.